Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick, where my purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, and more abundant lives. And this is part 2 of a 2-part series entitled, Why Am I Not Losing Weight on a Low Carb or even a Keto Diet? So guys, if you're struggling to lose weight, you definitely want to watch to the end of this one because I've got the best ones. The best ones are in this video. Now, like I said, this is part 2 of a 2-part series, so go back and check out the first part. Make sure you see those two so that way you get up to speed on all 12 that we're going to be talking about. Now guys, also on the last video, I introduced something that I am so proud of, and that is my wife's new book. I want to go ahead and shamelessly plug it again now because I tell you what, I like to pride myself on saying I inspire, empower, and motivate you, but this is the real one right here. This is the real deal. To see what my wife went through as a young girl of 4 years old into her teens was just horrific. No one should ever have to experience that. And you see what she's lived through and what she's had to endure through, the abuse. And I'll tell you right now, with the amount of abuse we're seeing around the world, and thank goodness we're finding children. Children are being found, 26, 36 children at a time are being found, and they weren't missing, they were just taken. So guys, we're seeing this, and this book will inspire you to really be victorious. My wife was a victim at first. Now she's a survivor, but she is victorious. And to see what she's gone through from beginning to later on in life, where she had to literally escape from a country where they were, she had to escape with coyotes. Don't want to say that too out loud, but she had to because she was literally going to be put in prison or in a state asylum because of what she knew, what she was able to find out. So guys, this is very powerful stuff. This book is, I will tell you, is going to be truly inspirational. The reviews we've been getting from this book have been absolutely amazing. People are saying, you've inspired me. I can't believe what you had to go through. I feel victorious for you. I've had patients tell me they didn't know if they wanted to finish the book because they got through half of it and they were realizing just how devastating it was. But at the same time, they knew the outcome. They see my wife in the office. They see that she is healthy and well and that she's doing great and all of our kids are doing great. So they know the outcome, but yet to see what she went through. But I'll tell you what, like I said, the reviews we're getting are people saying it's a page turner. I couldn't put the book down. One lady said, I wanted to miss work the next day so I could finish reading the book. And guess what? She actually got sick and she did stay home and read the book. Or people are saying, I read it till 3 in the morning. I couldn't put the book down. So guys, I'm telling you, this book right here will absolutely inspire and motivate you, and you'll get to see what my wife went through. I knew every story in this book. I knew everything my wife has been through, but until I read it and felt her heart and the way they wrote it and put it together, you feel like you're there too. Anyway, guys, give this book as a gift for people because I'll tell you what, it'll absolutely transform their lives and inspire them, especially if they're going through abuse also, whether it be sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, whatever it may be, that they can come out of it on top and really do great. So anyway, thanks for your support with that, but I'm just so proud of my wife. Anyway, love you, honey. So let's get started with part 2 of a 2-part series entitled, Why Am I Not Losing Weight When I'm on the Keto or Low Carb Diet? Well, one of the reasons may be that you're not getting enough sleep. Yes. Not getting enough sleep can absolutely start to cause disease to develop in your body. And a study that was done in the Current Opinion of Endocrinology and Diabetes and Obesity, August 2014, said this: epidemiological studies have established an association between decreased self-reported sleep duration and an increased incidence of type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease. So guys, just not getting enough sleep isn't going to just make you feel tired the next day, maybe a little bit of brain fog. It can absolutely cause disease to develop in your body. And like I said, type 2 diabetes, one of the biggest causes of not being able to lose weight, not to mention obesity. But here's the other thing too, when you're not getting enough sleep, it's not making you motivated to exercise or even eat right. And you know that. You get some stress in your life, and we talked about this on the previous video. You get some stress in your life, you're not making the best food choices. You're not reaching for the broccoli. Oh, I got so stressed out, I just had to have a carrot. Or I got so stressed out, I just wanted a head of cauliflower. No. You get stressed out, and like I said in the previous video, you're having a Snickers bar, or you're getting a ring ding, or you're getting a cupcake or something. You're going for the ice cream, all right? And I know you're out there. So that's the problem. When you're not getting enough sleep, it creates such stress in your body that it can not only cause disease, obesity, but it also causes you to make bad choices in life. Now, next is having too much dairy, and I can tell you this from my own experience. When I'm eating too much dairy, I will always have a little bit of a layer of fat right around my waist. Now, dairy is a problem for many reasons. One, because we're basically not meant to drink milk from cows. Okay, these are designed for cows, and they're designed for calves that are going to grow hundreds of pounds in a year. But not only that, it's also the wrong type of dairy. We're really designed to eat type 2 casein dairy, not type 1. So many countries around the world still get type 2 casein dairy, but in the States, it's pretty much all 1 unless you're looking for 2. So you might want to make sure you do that. But anyway, the protein, the amino acid profile that is in dairy is really not the best for us. In an article in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, 2004, said the amino acid composition of dairy protein makes it very good at spiking insulin. In fact, dairy proteins can spike insulin as much as white bread. So guys, that's a big factor, because anytime you're spiking insulin in the body, you're causing fat storage, you're causing storage. Insulin is a storage hormone. That's why it's so dangerous to have insulin at an elevated level all the time and then have fats in your diet, because when it's elevated, you are storing it. It is a perfect storm. Next is ineffective exercise. Now, what do I mean by that? Now, I know a lot of you out there are exercising. You're thinking, Dr. Nick, I'm doing the right thing. I'm exercising. But here's the problem. Most people, when they exercise, and I don't mean to pick on anybody because I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad you're doing some form of exercise, getting out there and moving. But most people are doing what we refer to as long duration, low intensity exercise. Okay, so if you're getting on a treadmill like this guy over here, or a step class, or whatever it may be, where you're stepping on an elliptical, things like that, you are doing typically long duration, low intensity. What does that mean? That means you're typically going at about a 3-mile-an-hour clip for like 45 minutes. Or you're getting on the elliptical and you're keeping it the same speed all the time. Now, you may do interval training, and that's where you get your benefit from. So it turns out there's two ways you can exercise that are going to benefit you better. It's going to help with insulin resistance, going to help you spike growth hormone levels, testosterone levels. And I know, ladies, you need testosterone too. I know you're thinking, Dr. Nick, I don't want to be big like the guys are. And don't worry, you won't, because you have about 1/10 of the amount of testosterone that we do. But still, you need testosterone in your body. So here's how you get around that. Turns out lifting weights can greatly improve hormone levels and increase muscle mass. So that's important, because if your muscle mass is larger, your muscles are eating more during the course of the day. So you're burning more calories during the course of the day. So that's very advantageous. People typically are not looking to be lighter. Okay, just because you're lighter doesn't mean you're healthier. You want lean muscle mass. That's what makes you healthier. So building a little bit of muscle mass is going to be a good thing, especially as you start to get older and your muscle mass decreases once you get into your 50s, 60s, and 70s. It decreases dramatically, and so do your hormone levels. So this will help boost those levels up. Also, too, high intensity interval is an excellent form of cardio that actually boosts human growth hormone levels. It boosts your metabolism. So growth hormone levels go up much, much higher when you're doing a higher intensity, shorter duration exercise. So what does that look like? Well, when I go to the gym, I train fast and I train heavier. Now, you can train lighter. You don't need to train that intensively, but you want to make sure that you're training higher intensity in a shorter duration. That means my workouts are typically about 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes long. You may be able to squeeze a very high intensity workout into 15 minutes. How can you do that, per se, on a treadmill or an elliptical? Well, all you do is you get on that treadmill and you go as fast as you can for about 30 seconds, and then hop off to the side so you don't fall on your face, and then take a break for about 30 seconds. Then hop on again for about another 30 seconds, as fast as you can, and then hop off. And you do that about 5 times, maybe 6 times, and you will be shot. You will be winded. Same thing on the elliptical. You crank it up so it's on an elevated level, maybe elevated 10, and maybe 10 or 15 or so on the intensity, and or whatever yours is at your gym. And you go as fast as you can for about 30 seconds, and then you coast along for about 30 seconds. And then you pump it up again for 30 seconds, and then you coast for 30 seconds. And you do that once again about 5 times, you're shot, okay? At the gym, when you're lifting weights, I don't rest at all, so I tend to superset. That means I go from one exercise to another, back to this one, back to the other. I do a few sets of that, and then I move on to another set of exercises, and I go this way, back and forth, and I keep changing it up quickly without resting. That'll increase your intensity, that'll shorten your workouts, and that'll get that growth hormone going, and that'll kickstart your fat loss. All right, next, and I've fallen for this one too. I used to live on agave nectar, and I used to live on coconut sugar and thinking I was doing a great thing. But it turns out that these sugars, these healthy sugars, have just as many carbs as the real sugar does. So you want to stay away from these if you're on a low carb or keto diet. So guys, agave nectar, honey, things like coconut sugar, all of these are high carb sugars. And you know it because when you put it in your mouth, they taste sweet. That's usually a good sign. If it tastes sweet, it's usually a good sign unless you're having something like stevia or monk fruit. Those are your better sweeteners. You want to stick with those, or maybe something even like, Truvia. You can even use that too. I did a video on your best low carb sweeteners. So check that one out and see what the best sweeteners that you could be using are, but you really want to stay away from these. Now the next one is counterintuitive, okay? You're thinking, this can't be. I've heard I want to eat frequent meals. I want to eat 6 meals a day. Well guys, that's not a good idea. You don't want to snack either because you want to give your body a break. You want to let your insulin levels come down, your blood sugar levels come down. Like I talked about earlier, if you keep spiking your insulin and you have your insulin elevated during the course of the day, your body's always in storage mode. You've got to give it time to bring your insulin and sugar levels down. So don't snack all day. In fact, don't snack really at all. Have 2 to 3 meals a day in a shorter eating window. And if you need to incorporate intermittent fasting, that's another great way of doing it. So for those of you who are new to intermittent fasting, what that simply means is that you have a shorter eating window. It doesn't mean you don't eat less calories. Although you might reduce your calories, but it simply means that you typically stop eating around 8 o'clock the night before and you don't eat until about noon the next day. So you have about 16 hours of not eating. Now, that doesn't mean you can drink something like bulletproof coffee. I hear about it a lot. People say to me, so I have my bulletproof coffee in the morning and during my fast. Bulletproof coffee, which is coffee with butter, MCT oil, or coconut oil, those things add up to probably about 300 to 400 calories, so that is technically a meal. Okay, so you don't want to do that. If it has that many calories, you are breaking your fast, so you're not intermittent fasting. So if you're intermittent fasting, okay, and you're doing it correctly, and you eat 2 to 3 meals a day, or bring it down to 1 meal a day, that's where you're going to see the biggest breakthroughs. So you may want to modify that a little bit. Sometimes you might want to have 2 meals in a day. Sometimes you want to have 1. But like I said, eliminate the snacks so that way your body has time in between meals to make sure you're bringing your blood sugar levels down and your insulin levels down. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, well, Dr. Nick, what if my blood sugar goes too low? It's not going to go too low. Your body is used to that. It knows what to do. It kicks into something called gluconeogenesis, which means it can convert other things like proteins to sugar, so your blood sugar will never go too low. It's not going to get dangerously low, so don't worry about that. Next, you might be just taking in too many calories. Now, I know, wait, Dr. Nick, hold on. I thought that keto diet, we're not about counting calories. It's just about eating healthy foods. There's truth to that, obviously truth to that. You want to make sure that you're just eating high quality, healthy foods, and your body will really take care of the rest. You don't have to worry about counting calories so much, but some of you do, because you will overdo it if you don't. So now, here's the thing. That doesn't mean that you eat the same amount of calories every single day. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you eating 1,700 calories every single day. You know why? Because your body will get used to it. Your body will get used to and create a set point. It's like your thermostat in your house. Your thermostat, you set it for, say, 72 degrees, and your temperature goes up, and all of a sudden the thermostat kicks on, it brings the AC on, and next thing you know, the temperature comes back down. Or in the wintertime, and you put heat on. So say you have it set at 70 degrees, and it gets cold, all of a sudden the thermostat kicks in and brings it back up. So it keeps it in that comfortable range. Well, you don't want your body doing that when it comes to calories. So that's why you need to change your calories up on a daily basis. So if you want to have roughly 1,800 calories, some days have 2,000, some days have 1,500. Mix it up. Some days maybe have 1,000. Keep your body guessing, because our ancestors, they never knew where they were going to eat. So they might have a lot of feast one time and then a famine another time. They might eat for 2-3 days and then not eat for 2-3 days. So they never knew. So our bodies adapted and got very used to storing. And here's the problem. If you're eating consistent calories all the time, your body is very good at storing. So you're going to experience storage, and it's also going to hit that set point. So You want to vary your calories daily. You want to also have a calorie deficit sometimes. So like I said, maybe go down to 1,000 calories, where your body really, your BMR, your basal metabolic rate might be 1,800, have 1,500. Give itself a calorie deficit from time to time, and then throw in intermittent fasting. So we talked about that on a previous slide. Incorporate that in, and it's going to give you the best method of keeping your body confused and staying down from having too many calories. And last but not least is drinking alcohol. Now I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. But guys, drinking alcohol is a killer, okay? Not just because of car accidents and things like that. It will stop burning fat right in your tracks. Why? Because your liver has to process the alcohol. You see, your liver is there for burning fat too. But the problem is your body prioritizes alcohol as a toxin and a poison. So that means triage, it's taking that first. So it's going to stop all fat burning and take care of getting your body free of this toxin called alcohol. So as soon as you take in the alcohol, fat burning stops, dead in its tracks, your body stops burning fat, and it goes to eliminating the alcohol. So you want to make sure you don't do that. So alcohol stops weight loss, and it will cause you to plateau. So here's the thing. Some of you may say, but Dr. Nick, I gotta live, I gotta have my alcohol. Well, and a lot of you will say, well, if I have the hard liquors are 0 carbs, so I'll just have those. They might be 0 carbs. Just don't mix it with something else like tonic water or something, because that's going to have carbs in it. But yes, it's true. Some of those clean alcohols are going to have 0 carbs. Your gin, your vodkas, things like that, maybe your whiskeys, they're going to be pretty much 0 carbs. But the problem is they still stop fat burning. So if you have them on a weekend, indulge a little bit, stay away from the mixed drinks, because the mixed drinks are really, really a problem. Those are the ones that really get you. Those are the ones who are very overloaded in carbs. The same thing with things like beer. So sorry guys, but stay away from those if you can. So anyway, I hope this is great information for you. Like I said, make sure you check out my previous video, part 1 of the 2-part series on why you can't lose weight, even though you're low carb and keto. Also to check out my wife's book, Truth Gives Strength to Wings. I'll put the link down below so you can link up with the book. I'll tell you what, it will absolutely inspire you. Great Christmas gift, things like that. And guys, if you're looking for extra information about the keto diet, check out my keto course. I got a link down below for that too. So we will provide you everything you need to do the keto diet properly and get in the best shape of your life and feel great. So anyway, guys, I love and appreciate you. Have a blessed day. This is Dr. Nick. I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.